Raise your hand if you're feeling stressed. I'm sure just about all of us have our hands raised at this point right now, and that's okay because in this video we are going to be going over 3 stress management techniques that can help you instantly calm down. I'm Nicole Cizak, a functional nutritional therapy practitioner specializing in digestive and hormone issues. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay in the loop when new content is published. So as our lives get busier, we continue to add more and more to our proverbial stress plate, so much so that we don't really even realize how bad and how tired and wiped out we are until we get to a very severe degree of stress and adrenal burnout, and we kind of just crash and burn. The simple fact of the matter is sometimes life is just complicated. We have a lot going on, and so stress comes in many different forms. You know, you can have financial stress, you can have work stress, life stress, family stress, personal stress, health stress. So anything can really be contributing to your stress levels on a daily basis. And stress can manifest in many different ways. So some of the common symptoms or signs that you are stressed are anxiety and depression. And then the physical symptoms of stress, so typically people will feel tension in the back, neck, and shoulders, insomnia and sleep troubles, increased or decreased appetite, things like food cravings, especially for your carbs and sugar. And then you also might be dealing with things like irritability, moodiness, really tight jaw or clenched jaw as a good sign that you're stressed, as are things like indigestion, heartburn, just general like digestive upset. So be on the lookout for those signs when you're trying to ask yourself, am I stressed? Now let's talk a little bit about the mechanism of stress and how stress actually works. So stress is controlled by our stress hormone, which is cortisol. And so cortisol is naturally occurring in the body, and so it's supposed to be elevated in the morning, and then it'll slowly taper off in the evening to signal other hormones like melatonin to kick in and get us prepped and tired and ready for bed. The thing to know about cortisol, though, is that it also is active in our fight or flight or stress response. And so when we are in a dangerous or life-threatening situation, cortisol ramps up, and so we get increased heart rate, we might sweat, we might be a little bit out of breath or breathing heavier, because this is preparing the body to flee from danger and to protect ourselves. So this is very helpful when you think back to the days of our ancestors when we were constantly on the run and just kind of surviving day to day out in the wild without modern luxuries. Today, however, we don't actually tap into that kind of life-threatening, stress response. Ours is more of a chronic and constant, medium-grade stress response that just is always going in the background because we just have so many things going on, and that really can impede our health in multiple different ways, as we just discussed. So if cortisol remains constantly elevated, we start to get into a lot of the chronic health issues, especially with insulin resistance and insulin sensitivity, which can upset the balance of our blood sugar and cause food cravings, irritability, moodiness, sleep issues, all of those symptoms we kind of just talked about. So it's not a good thing. But the good news is I have 3 simple techniques that you can implement today to help you get into what we call a calm, rest and digest, or parasympathetic state. So the first one is very simple. It's something I use with my clients and myself quite regularly. It's called the 4-7-8 breathing method. So you might be familiar with it. And one of the reasons why we do a lot of breath work and breathing work to calm down the central nervous system is because deep breathing stimulates our vagus nerve, which can be found back here behind our ear and on the neck. The vagus nerve is responsible for activating that calming sense throughout the body. So very simple. What you do is you'll breathe in deeply for 4 breaths, you'll hold for a 7 count, and then you'll exhale slowly for an 8 count. So let's do it together. We'll breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And out for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so then you can just repeat that 4 to 5 times through at any point throughout the day. I really like to do it before meals, because one of the best ways to reduce the indigestion and stress on the stomach and just kind of feeling blah after meals that's stress related is to be in that calm, rest, and digest state. So do that before meals, do it before bed, do it when you wake up in the morning, whenever you feel like you need it. Just do some quick breathing to drop into that calm state. And tip number 2, again, is going to activate our vagus nerve. And so this is more, it's not just one tip, it's a couple things you can try. So to increase vagal tone, which is what we refer to when we talk about activating the vagus nerve, we can do things like laughing, singing, gargling, cold exposure on the face. So any of those techniques can work. If you are gargling, you want to do it kind of aggressively and for 1 to 2 minutes. And if you're going to do any kind of humming or singing, you want it to be very loud. Just kind of belt it out in the shower if you want to. But that really activates that vagus nerve, which starts at the brainstem, passes through the heart, the lungs. It goes right through the center of our intestines. And so it really just will activate all of that calming mechanism throughout all of those organs. So try a couple of those techniques, including the cold exposure on the face. What I like to do in the morning is just get a cold wash rag, turn the water up to way cold, get it wet, and then just splash some water on my face, and do that a couple times and just really get a nice brisk wake up. And then the third and final stress management technique I have for you is to take a bath. I love taking an Epsom salt bath with some very nice calming and relaxing essential oils like lavender. So you can get Epsom salt on the internet, on Amazon, at your local health food store. You just want to make sure you're doing at least 1 to 2 cups of Epsom salt in the bath, and then soaking for at least 25 to 30 minutes. And so why Epsom salt baths are so effective is because they do contain magnesium. And so magnesium is nature's muscle relaxer. It is a mineral, it's an electrolyte, and we need it to have a calm nervous system and for muscle repair and relaxation. And so if you're someone that especially feels stress in the physical, definitely hopping into a nightly Epsom salt bath for 25-30 minutes just soaking can really loosen up the muscles, can just release all of that tension. I also will put on some calming sounds like ocean waves or rainfall, and bring a good book with me, or listen to a good playlist or soundtrack that I love, and this just kind of gets me into that Zen mode. So those are three tips that you can activate to reduce your stress levels day to day, and then hopefully feel a little bit more energized and in control of your body and your emotions, and better able to manage day to day. If you like this video, be sure to leave a comment, drop a question, or share a future topic idea. I'm Nicole. I will see you in the next video. Stay healthy.